I used to think I was untouchable at work. Not because I was the most talented, though I was good, but because I was connected. I knew everyone. I got invited to the happy hours that actually mattered, and I had a way of making myself indispensable to the right people. I'd been at the marketing firm for 3 years, and my best friend there was Marissa. We started on the same day, sat next to each other for a year, and basically carried each other through the chaos of our first big accounts. She was the type of friend who knew my coffee order, my dating history, and my biggest pet peeves. We also had the same unspoken rule. In this office, we watched each other's backs. Then, Ethan joined the team. Ethan was the new senior account manager. Tall, quiet, the type of guy who didn't waste words. He was also annoyingly good at his job. He'd been with 2 other top agencies, had a portfolio that made our boss light up like a Christmas tree, and within a month, he was leading one of the firm's biggest accounts. Everyone liked him, which in our office was rare. I didn't dislike him exactly, but he made me feel competitive in a way I didn't expect. He was confident without trying, and I hated that people listened to him in meetings like every word was gospel. So when the quarterly review cycle came up, I started worrying. My promotion to account director was finally in reach. But Ethan's arrival had shifted the dynamics. If the bosses thought he was more senior leadership material, my shot could be gone. That's when I made the mistake. It started small, a comment here and there to Marissa about how Ethan rubbed me the wrong way or how he can be a bit condescending. Marissa didn't disagree, but she didn't join in either. Then one afternoon, after Ethan gave some direct feedback on my presentation, I vented to her in the break room. It's like he has no filter. Honestly, sometimes the way he talks to me feels off. I didn't mean it as a big accusation. But a week later, I found myself telling Marissa that I thought Ethan might have been crossing lines. I told her about a time he stood behind me while I was typing. Too close, I claimed. And how he'd once complimented my necklace in a weird tone. The thing is, I was exaggerating. Twisting small, meaningless moments into something that sounded suspicious. I told myself I was just protecting my space and looking out for myself. Then Marissa did what I didn't expect. She went to her. She said she was concerned for me and thought someone should be aware of Ethan's behavior. And her set up a meeting with me, asked if I wanted to make a formal complaint. I hesitated, but the seed was planted. If I was already looking into him, wouldn't it be better for my career to get ahead of it? So I gave them a statement. Not lies exactly, just heavily edited truths. I painted Ethan as someone who was subtly undermining me, maybe even targeting me. They thanked me and said they'd handle it. I thought that was the end of it. But Ethan wasn't the type to roll over. A week later, I noticed something strange. People weren't chatting with me as much. Conversation stopped when I walked into the break room. Marissa, my best friend, was suddenly too busy for lunch. Then HR called me back in. I expected them to tell me Ethan had been spoken to. Instead, they said they were continuing their investigation and asked me more pointed questions. Exact dates, exact times, witnesses. That's when I realized Ethan had been doing his own digging. And unlike me, he had actual evidence. Apparently, after hearing about the complaint, he'd quietly gone to IT and requested access to security camera footage for the dates I mentioned. He'd also pulled email and chat logs showing exactly what was said and when. He'd even gotten written statements from 3 coworkers, 2 of them women, who said they'd never seen him behave inappropriately toward me or anyone else. The 2 closed incident. The footage showed him leaning over to point at something on my screen after I asked for help. The weird necklace comment. He said, "Nice necklace. It matches your earrings," while we were in a group conversation with 3 other people. Worse, Marissa had flipped. Apparently, when I asked her for specifics, she admitted that I'd been the one bringing up these concerns, and that she'd never personally witnessed anything. She told them she'd gone to HR initially because she thought something was wrong, but now wasn't so sure. It was over for me after that. HR concluded their investigation and called me in one last time. "We've determined the claims were unfounded," they said. "Given the nature of the allegations and the impact they've had on the workplace, we're terminating your employment, effective immediately." I tried to protest, to say I was just expressing how I felt, but they weren't having it. They slid a packet across the table with my severance details and walked me out like a criminal. On my way out, I passed Ethan's desk. He didn't smirk, didn't gloat. He just looked at me, steady and calm, and said, "Next time, make sure your story can survive the truth." Marissa didn't call me that night, or the night after. She didn't call at all. I found out later that Ethan had actually thanked her for doing the right thing, and that they'd started working closely together. A month after I was gone, she posted a photo of the two of them at a company event, smiling like they'd been friends for years. As for me, my reputation tanked. Word got around fast in our industry. Every interview I went to felt like they already knew something. One hiring manager even asked, "So, why did you leave your last job?" in a tone that made it clear he already had his own version of the story. I went from planning my promotion to scrambling for freelance gigs just to make rent. I told myself I'd been unlucky, that I hadn't meant for it to go so far. But deep down, I knew the truth. I tried to play a game I didn't fully understand against someone who was smarter, more patient, and a lot more careful than me. And in the end, he didn't just clear his name. He made sure mine was worth nothing.